Here I am, your Heaven's Metal editor once again in front of the camera, here with Jimmy and Manny of Deliverance.
The funny thing about Manny Morales is that he was actually our very, very first bass player back in 1985. And when we thought about a bass player, we prayed about it, finally. Ask God, look at, I'm serious, I'm going to be totally serious. I sought the Lord on this and I said, you know, Lord, I am so sick and tired of going through these changes and stuff. Lord, I'm not even looking for him anymore. You bring the right person to me. I'm tired of looking because somehow, some way, I always make a mistake, you know? And I need your leading on this, Lord. And it was funny because it just happened that the Lord really laid him on my heart. He called me out of nowhere, and I and our old drummer, Chris, we're going to do a little project together. And the Lord was just really laying on my heart, and I thought, I don't want that guy in the band. No, I'm just playing. No, I said, man, you know, I don't know if it'll work out, you know. It didn't work last time, and and just all this. It was a real turmoil to the Lord, really. I mean, I felt it strong. Where the Lord just said, man, ask him. I asked him, and boom, it just gelled right there. It was great.
It's funny, but I really don't listen to a lot of other Christian bands, as you can tell, Jimmy. I listen to Deliverance for the reason I just like the music that he writes. After I left Deliverance in '85, we went our separate ways. Deliverance reformed, and eventually I got a phone call. Me and Jimmy hooked up, and praise God, we got back together.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about some of the scene you've been in? Deliverance has been known to be a speed metal band. Now you've kind of changed a little bit and evolved. Tell me a little bit about the scene you've been involved in, some of the people that listen to your music, and the reasons for the evolution, I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, we've had all these different labels, the Kings of Speed, Thrash Masters, or whatever, just, you know, the little labels people throw on you, but I mean, we were always just a band that did what we felt, did what we did, you know. And I think with the first two albums, we achieved that. We just did what we did, and at the time, that's what we were feeling, really heavy aggression. And obviously going in with what we started back in '86 when we started playing fast music, you know, as opposed to everybody was doing the Striper, Barren Cross scene, which is killer. I mean, because that's what we grew up listening to, and it was a big influence on us, but we wanted to be a little different. And nobody else was doing it in '86, so we started doing it. And then bands like Crucified came along, and Vengeance Rising, and everything else. And they took it a step further, and we always kind of stayed the same, you know, very fast, very aggressive, but singing, you know, clarity and vocals and all this scene. And we just moved along with that, and we just kept going and going and going. And, you know, as my vocal abilities, I guess, if you want to say, started increasing in a sense, in my book, in my view that I was looking at, I started writing music to fit the way I was wanting to sing and the way I was wanting to do things. And obviously you can't really sing like that to, you know, 100 miles an hour and everything else, you know. So we started going more with melody, started going more with, I mean, we're staying with the crunch vibe, obviously, but we just started changing, interacting keyboards with it all and everything. But it's definitely different. Plus another thing, too, I remember I said this in an interview we did together, that I got tired of being labeled, oh, the Deliverance, or the Metallica clones are back. You know, that got really old because, I mean, in a sense, we were kind of ripping them off, you know. But I definitely know the Lord wants us to be original. I want to be original, so I think it was time.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about the Weapons of Our Warfare video that we're about to see?
The video you're about to see is about, let me clear this up because a lot of people have been asking this question here at the festival. The representation of the man with the gold tooth and the dove flying by and knocking him over and all this other stuff at the end of the video, and all through the video you're seeing this happening, is just a representation of good versus evil. And also a lot of people ask, well, if the weapons of our warfare aren't carnal, why do you keep showing carnal warfare? And let me just tell you, that wasn't our idea. We hired some guy to do a video, and he did a great job, I have to admit, but it had nothing hardly to do with the song. And I think when we went in and he was showing us all this killer war footage, that was the thing I told him. I go, well, this has nothing to do with weapons of our warfare, you know, spirituality. So then he went right away, hired an actor, and got the cellular phone and the briefcase, the Mercedes, and the dove, which he went through like 60 doves. Really? Yeah, this is real. He went through like 60 doves. And that was it. That was what happened, you know. So, it's a great video. I mean, it's proud to say this is the very first Christian speed metal video to ever hit MTV.
There's a point in this video where you kick this crate up in the air. Is that like a manifestation of you kicking Satan's head or something? And were you trying to aim that crate towards anybody?
Actually, you know what? I don't know what went through my head. I just went to kick it. I think, you know what it was is, a lot of people don't know this. They think you just set up and play through the song once, but we played through the song at least 40 times. And they were shooting at all different angles. They had one stinking camera. And they were shooting us in different positions all over the place. I think that was like one of the 30, between 30 and 40. I was just sick of being there, to be honest with you. I'm serious. And I just went over there and kicked the stinking box, you know.
Jimmy, with your songwriting, your rhythm playing, and you are the king of rhythm.
Thank you.
Rhythm playing, songwriting, and your voice. You've got quite a following, a lot of fans to your music. What do you want to say to them?
Man, you know what? It sounds so cliche. It sounds so ridiculous, but man, the honest truth is, man, I appreciate everybody out there who's stuck with the camp for this long, since 1986 when we came out with our first demo. I met fans today. I ordered your demo in '86, man. I love it and stuff, you know. And I think about that. It's like, you know what? These kids deserve $1 million each in my book, and if I had it, I'd give it to them, because it's just wonderful to see how many people really stick by you, especially the hardcore fans. And no matter what you put out, they just embrace it and they love it. And the people that are actually ministered to by the message and what we have to say, they take it seriously. And I'm glad, because it's really serious. What's coming out of my heart comes out of our hearts, comes out of what we do. And with all my heart and intent, thank you. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for buying our records, buying our merchandise, and just being a part of the family, being a part of the camp. If you don't know Christ, accept Him in your heart.